The following audio is via a Skype call.
You are listening to Vibrant Purposeful Living Radio with Lou Paradise. Tune in monthly with Lou and Dr. Pat on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Lou is an expert in pain management, educational health, and wellness, and the innovator of the leading pain relief cream, Purposeful. Lou's passion is to help everyone experience positive solutions for life. Negatives are just positives waiting to happen. Awaken the vibrant life within you. Tune in today.
That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, this is Vibrant Purposeful Living, and I am here with my friend, colleague. We got something really cool to share with you about. Lou Paradise is joining us here today, and many of you know him as the inventor of Purposeful, and you've heard me tell that story a million times. But here's what I want to say about Lou, especially a wellness coach, a motivational speaker, somebody that's out there in the world. When I think about people and what they say yes to, I'm always intrigued by the level of discernment and discretion by which they evaluate what they're going to get behind in life. But the one thing I want to say about Lou and also myself, which I didn't know about, is that whatever it was in our past that affected us, let's just say, in a way that back in that day caused us pain, whether it was Lou being in the war, the Vietnam War, suffering pain, neuropathy, the body breaking down, or me, homeless, mystery disease, the body breaking down, we tend to bring ourselves forward to making sure that we share with you what it is we found that has become a solution for us in our lives. Now, many of you have heard me talk about my own spiritual journey. I got to tell you, I don't do much without that. And when I decide I wake up some days and I do, it's pretty ugly. Today, we're going to talk about what it is that we now are looking at from two different perspectives. For me, if you have been with me, and many of you have, when we went through 2008, 2007, 2009, my friends lost their homes. You know, women had to try to get 2-3 different jobs to raise their children. Men, for the first time in their lives, found themselves in situations like I found myself without a job after 24 years. And we never thought we'd be able to rise up again. And what's really interesting about today with Mr. Paradise is we want to talk about the fact that Lou and I both know what it means to be financially good with yourself. And what does it mean to get out there and also do good in the world? Because Lou, I don't know about you, but I used to do it the old way. And the old way was make money, make money, don't care what you do. That hurts. Today, you and I are talking about how do we begin to take our message of looking at humanity from a heart center point of view, and how do we at the same time say, we'd love for all of you to be financially independent. Hi, Lou, welcome. Great show today, right?
Absolutely, positively. You know, and these are the requisites for everything, right? I mean, we talk about this all the time. And I mean, to think of how you slugged it out from the time you went through all of those challenges you went to is why you have the authentic voice and spirit and experience to be able to relate to people and being sensitive. We never forget where we come from when when we've been knocked down a few times, and, you get knocked down a whole bunch of times. That's not the number that counts. The number that counts, and I know people hear this all the time, how many times you got back up and slugged it out and then made something happen and took the negatives and turned them into positive, because negative things is just positive things waiting to happen. Right. Yeah. And all of these things today are so vital. People having issues with their health, people having issues with the lack of income or precariously positioned. One paycheck later or not, you can find yourself with no home, no place to live. And this could be for you and your kids. There's too much of that going on. It doesn't get enough notification, but everybody that we know knows this. And we want to talk about how, like you said, how can we prosper and help other people prosper from what we know and learned about a holistic approach to things. That doesn't mean that we can't do things where there may be other interventions involved. But the holistic approach means, how do we get healthy in our mind, in our spirit? How do we get healthy physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially? Because we know that all of those things are going to keep us on a level playing field where we can live our life and live the joy of living a life full of vibrance, full of health, full of vitality, and being able to smile, to know you don't have to. It's like, we may still not have everything we want, but we never want to be without what we need. And that is, to me, the epitome of why we do the work we do and what we've learned along the way. So I'm delighted that we have this chance to really get into some fabulous subject matters along those lines today.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is, for me, and I've talked about this from time to time. Clearly, Dr. Darvish and I talk about it, but the show that she and I are doing tomorrow is all about testosterone, so you may want to listen to that.
Yeah.
But one of the things we've talked about over time is the body, and let's just go back a little bit for a minute. When I was going through my healing journey, there were many things I learned about hormones, and I really do thank both you and Dr. Darvish for that. I certainly understood about what happens when things get imbalanced and the level of inflammation rises in your body, and the next thing you know, you've got inflammation and neuropathy, and thanks to Topricin, that took care of a lot of problems for me back in the day. Right?
Absolutely.
But the other thing I learned about was other types of hormones. But I will say, up until now, first of all, those hormones, very specifically human growth hormone, was only available to a very elite population of people. And why is that? Because somebody told me, the woman that wanted to really give it to me or get me on it back then said, yeah, it's only going to cost you like $2,000 a month. And I'm like, $2,000 a month. She said, oh, no, I mean an injection. And so here we are today saying, yeah, we've already had the science out there, but why can't we look at humanity and stop making things so out of the pocketbook and price range for people that they can't get the benefits of it?
Exactly. And you know what? And that's been the biggest rub on it. Hey, look, when we look at the issue, how many people don't know that hormonal compounds, and we're looking at hormones, we talked about this prior too, right? Same kind of thing with your life experience, with my life experience. Part of the issue with, if we're thinking about things like depressions and PTSD and loss of bone mass, most people think it's about aging. Well, it is and it isn't. What about cognitive health, cardiovascular health, getting enough sleep, levels of energy? This is all stuff that is not a natural byproduct of aging. It is just the fact that we don't recognize how we can bolster and balance and keep our bodies in balance to overcome these things and really make the headway we need so we can own the life process internally in microenvironment that helps us to live the macro environment, the life process, in such a beautiful, gracious way. So I know that when we really look at the value of information, knowledge. I remember Napoleon Hill. He was saying this all the time. Knowledge is not power necessarily, unless it's really information you could use. For goodness sakes, get out there. What do you know or what do you don't? Because whatever you don't know can hurt you. In today's world, you really need to be aware, and you really need to have information that's going to change your life and benefit you. And instead of having it like you just suggested, a platform where, yes, we know we can help you, but it's going to cost you $2,000 a month. Who the heck can afford that? And when it comes to human growth hormone as the master hormone, that cascading effect of regulating metabolic function and keeping your body healthy, keeping your muscle mass right, keeping your fat burning right, because fat burning and muscle mass all follow suit. You don't have to be a big weightlifter or go out and be crazy about running marathons every single day, because that's what people think. Oh, I can't do that. That's why your functional metabolic body can, as a miracle as it is, can help you to maintain the lean muscle mass, to burn the fat, to increase your bone mass, to increase your cardiovascular health and protect yourself against all the maladies out there, cognitive health. I got all kinds of folks that are thinking they have dementia and maybe looking like they think they have Alzheimer's, when it's actually other functional things in your body just not in check. And once you get them back, it's astounding. Pat, I've never seen anything like it with any product development before that has so rallied people to the point of where we can get people something they can afford to use, which gets the results we've all been looking for, and it's not $2,000 a month, or I don't want to do this like some stupid infomercial. Oh, it's not going to be $1,000 a month, or $950, or even $200 a month, that kind of thing. But there's something valuable and incredible that someone else was thinking about, along the lines of the holistic stuff that we know about Topperson and how that's changed and transformed people's lives. And now we need to talk about why does the science work? What is this really going to do for benefiting people? How is it going to help them from their health? And guess what? How can it actually help people financially?
Well, one of the things too, and I think we'll go ahead and skip the break. One of the things I want to really get back to as I'm watching the snowfall as I sit in New Jersey, Mr. Lou.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it's hit you yet, but I'm sitting here on the 15th here, and we're in the middle of a blizzard. And here's what I want to say about this, though, in the context of that. Once upon a time, the idea of snow falling and having to go out and shovel for me was one of the most daunting ideas that I could possibly have. And the notion that I wasn't even sure if I could lift up a shovel, let alone balance myself.
Yeah.
And a week ago, I'm still in New Jersey, and Lily Yip, you got to love Lily, decided she's going to have a tournament, a USTTA tournament. And I thought, why wouldn't I enter it? So here's why. I said, I'm not going to enter it because I don't think like I'm in shape to do it. I mean, you have to be in shape to do most things.
Sure.
But here's the thing. I went out with you and Aurora.
Yeah.
And we did a live event. And at the live event, what we were talking about is a holistic, integrated, my phone's ringing. So somebody, it's like, okay, what the hell? Get on the gel right on the phone. And they're already asking me questions on my cell phone. I forgot to mute that, but who is this? Oh, okay. Stacy, I'll get your question up here. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're all starting to feel better. And what if we changed? Pretty much, I haven't been eating the most healthy I've been eating since I've been here. Okay, but I'm working on that.
When you're in New Jersey, you got to not eat always healthy, otherwise it ain't no fun. Pizza. Oh my!
But I decided to enter the tournament, and Linda didn't even flinch. So I go to this tournament. It started at 9:30 in the morning, and I'm out there, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If I could just get a couple of good matches in. So what happened to me? Not only did I play in 3 different categories, right?
Whoa.
I went from match to match to match to match to match, playing people that could have been my grandchildren.
Whoa.
And I sweat like crazy, which is really good for you.
Sure.
But the only reason I stopped was because the last group I was going to play in were really young kids. So what is it about the changes and about the adaptation of introducing, again, something holistic, something topical, something compounded, and in the form of human growth hormone? Because this human growth hormone, better known as HGH, was in the untouchable category for most people. Surely. Just like, by the way, Lou, bioidentical hormones. Thank you, Dr. Darvish, for compounding those things for me.
Sure.
But now we're in a whole different game. Tell us about the game we're in.
This is the cool part, totally. When we balance, hormonal considerations, hormones are the most astounding message centers in the entire body, and there's a bunch in the body. This portion of being able to be the miracle and maintaining youthful, graciously and gracefully having aging process where we're still looking good, feeling fit, emotional health, cognitive health, energy levels, every single thing that you're talking about and thinking, I'm not in a shape, I'm not sure. But you as a warrior, my darling, just said, I'm going out there and I'm going to go with it. And maybe even surprise yourself delightfully that this gel it's not magic. Because if it was something that gave you some sort of a buzz and you started to feel really, really weird, not the thing you should be using. Right. Subtly changes, and naturally adapts, and naturally goes in as homeopathic topical transdermal product. So the homeopathy, which is what has attracted me to it, the transdermal even more so.
Yeah.
Being able to get it into the microcirculation, and the microcirculation took it to the pituitary, took it to the thyroid, took it to the adrenals. Those adrenals are really important when you're cranking it up and winning those tournaments and kicking butt, doing your stuff, right? Makes you feel good because your body is releasing happy hormones. Endorphins are released. Dopamine's released, serotonin's released, oxytocin is released. This is the encouraging. This makes your mind fully functional in terms of cognitive health. It relates directly to keep your muscles and the glycogen burning exactly where they should, so you have no fatigue. This is a natural thing the body's doing. It's just that we don't experience it because our hormones are often out of balance. And now all of a sudden we have this performance, this energy, this mental acuity, this feeling of goodwill, this whole thing, not because of the product. This is the cool part. It's because the product stimulates natural balance of your body's own ability to release all these fabulous metabolic functional hormones that keep you happy, keep you healthy, keep you vibrant, keep you competitive, keep you out there and make you enjoy life and keeps, think about the fact of aging gracefully does not mean pain is not necessarily a byproduct of aging. It's cellular response to your hormonal imbalances, which can be nicely, gently, perfectly, subtly, elegantly put back into a complete balance to give you all of this functional well-being and goodwill and a sense of well-being. Your body wants to do that. Your body naturally does that when you're younger. When you get older, it's a little more of a challenge. And why is that? You need to have help to reset your hormones in a way, not to give you, not injections, not stuff that's going to give a whole bunch of milligrams and IUs of hormone, but a subtle release of your body's natural ability to bring you back into balance.
Well,
once that happens, here you are.
I got to share something with you because I get a lot of questions from our listeners. And Stacy, thank you. I'm going to answer your question right now that you got on my phone. That's like our new app that nobody is supposed to know about. But Stacy, I know you've been with us for like 15 years. Here's what I found for us today. March of 2018. That's this year. Because people said after the last conversation I had with both Dr. Darvish and with you, They said to me, Pat, you're not looking at current research. All right, I am. So this article, scientific article in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences did something brilliant. They came out and they said, here's the story. This particular conversation of treatment with growth hormone for adults, right? And growth hormone deficiency syndrome. We went out and we gathered all of the studies and the research that were done over a period of 20 years, 85 to 1985 to 2017. Yeah. So here's the deal, right, Lou? The conversation about human growth hormone didn't start this year. It's been in study in the medical industry for a really long time.
Absolutely.
The problem has been in the distribution and administration. And one of the things, Stacy, you just asked about, I want to address, not from me, but from this article. Let me just read it, and then Lou, you could jump in.
Sure.
When people look at the risks of GH, right, replacement therapy,
sure.
Almost all the risks that have been evaluated to date are from injections. Exactly. And like anything we inject in our bodies without proper monitoring, without blood work, and again, the idea that more is better is not true for this particular hormone, nor is it true for any compound. But here's what they say about it. What they say is that, look, this is what happens. And if it happens to you, and if in fact you do have, and 5% of the population gets some of these effects, here's what they say. Oh, just reduce the dose. And they're talking about injections. Just reduce the dose. But the point is, if you're injecting yourself, you don't have the control. What we're talking about is not something that is going to get to that point, according to this article. So we're talking about following the science of topical application of most things, right, Lou?
Mm-hmm.
Most things. The skin absorb it. Tell us about how that works, though, for HGH, because most people don't know how that could work.
Sure. The probably the most important thing is that most people don't know it's when we talk about microenvironment, it may sound like a kind of an extensive scientific word, but it's really something I think people would get their mind around once they get kind of a picture of this. We look at the circulation of the body, and circulatory activity. Everybody's heard of arteries and they've heard of veins, and because there's oftentimes medical protocol, ACE inhibitors, what have you, for blood pressure and all, where we know there's a lot of other ways to do that. The arteries and veins are kind of the top subject matter. Now this is the entire circulation system of the body. Arteries only represent 11.5% of the whole circulation of the body, 14.5% for veins. But here's the cool part. This is the subject where we're talking about. Microcirculation, microenvironment represents 74%. 74% of the entire body. That means all 37 trillion to 57 trillion cells in the entire body. That's where all the oxygen and nutrients get fed into the subcutaneous, what is called microcirculation, where all the food and nutrients arrive to every single cell in the entire body, including all the organs, the brain, the heart, the liver, the pancreas, the spleen, the body's tissues, everything. And also it rids itself of all the waste byproducts. So when the microcirculation is the place where we have homeopathic, elegant medicine that is almost identical in its size and shape to the natural body's chemistries, go into and get delivered through microcirculation, so that the microcirculation has a direct connection with cascading effect right to the pituitary, right to the thyroid, and right to the adrenals. Because if we inject HGH alone, right, the side effect profiles, including the typical thing you get with a steroid, really, a swollenness, obesity can happen. Cancer cells can actually be woken up with injections. This is one of the really big problems. If you go through the microcirculation and finally get into the fatty tissue where it's delivered, it might be okay. But if you hit a vein, all of it goes into your bloodstream. What does it do when HGH goes into your bloodstream? It shuts your pituitary down. It doesn't give the chance for the master hormone to work. So the microcirculation gives you this opportunity from a transdermal point of view, because we find out these smaller doses are actually more powerful, because instead of giving you HGH through the skin to the pituitary now gets the medicines, that homeopathic medicines that wake your pituitary up and stimulate it to release exactly the amount of growth hormone and all the other hormones around it that your body specifically needs. So it's a natural event, so it's asking the question, how does the body naturally do this? We can stimulate it through homeopathic transdermal medicine. In this particular case, it has 3 homeopathic medicines and 20 botanicals that actually help delivery. So it elegantly moves the body just back into a normal space where the body's operating normally, just like it does, without any interference. So we're not putting things in it. We're stimulating what's already there properly, safely, so you enjoy the balance without the overload. And this is most important.
Yeah. I think the thing that we're going to talk about when we come back from break is, I looked at my own personal journey, and somebody said to me a couple of months ago, of course, Dr. Darvish and I do a health show on Fridays. We're going to be doing one tomorrow. And she talks about the health. I talk about the psychology of the health. But one of the things that it was pointed out to me was by one of our listeners who said, Pat, you are real, that doesn't live here, says you're really very fortunate. And I said, I know, I'm very grateful and very fortunate. She said, no, you live in a place where you have a Dr. Darvish. And she said, you've made it really possible for all of us to find out about many things, right? She's on the regular, what do you call that? Recurring order of top person list. And she said, you've made things available for us. But the one thing that you have that a lot of people don't have is a Dr. Darvish. And I said, that's why we're going to do a show. But the other thing is, and I didn't put it together until recently when we were at the event, Lou, is because I was with a pioneer in that arena, and I was with you, a pioneer in the pain management arena. I got the benefit that most people don't even know about. So applying compounds to my skin started like in 2005, right?
Right, exactly.
Today's show is about, for me, about the humanity of sharing this with the public. See, this is for me, for the first time, I'm able to talk about something that's working for me now, that worked for me then in a different way, but now is working in a way that is affordable. And I think, as fabulous listeners said to me, we have a responsibility to share the stories of our healing around what we talk about. Now, here's what I want to say before we go to break. Step number one, before you do anything, believe me, find your own Dr. Darvish. Get your medical advice people in the game. And the other thing that I will say to you about this, which I'm doing, is get yourself some adequate diagnostic test, because you're going to be able to see how things go. So even though Lou and I are talking about this, we've done this.
Absolutely.
We've taken what we needed to do to understand anytime you start something, anytime you start down a road, which is going to change the way you feel, right? It may even change the way you look if you're Aurora. But once you go down this road, here's what you do. You start out with getting yourself straight. The other thing is you get educated. How do we do that, Lou? Certainly they can go to your website. Let's give folks a couple of websites.
Sure. One of our main website is Lou Paradise, PARADISE.com, and or new Lou LOU.com. And you could see all of the information that you need. And we're very happy to take phone calls or take messages about how to help people through that process, so they really understand what it is exactly and any questions they may have. So we're never going to give people just a site to look at. We're going to give them information resource and live people to help them through the process. So again, LouParadise.com or new, that's NEWYOU, Lou, LOU.com. And either one of those sites will get them to the information they need. And we're delighted to be able to be of support.
Yeah. And Stacy, yes, I did give out a website the other day that had the word genius in it. Yes, you're right. It's geniushgh.com. That will get you there too. When we come back, we're going to talk about the stories that you all are asking about. What is it, since Lou started to bring this message forward and educate and provide information, how has this affected the lives of people? How has this affected the lives of people? What is it that we can share about how this innovative, holistic way now is taking the world by storm? When a product sells $10 million in a month, something's going on. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Golden Otter Divinations Radio, where the metaphysical meets the mainstream with Autumn Seibel. Tune in the first Friday every month at 9 a.m. Pacific as Autumn, educator, health coach, and medium, explores metaphysical and mainstream strategies on how to elevate your level of conscious living. Draw in the abundance that is yours by divine right. For more information about working with Autumn, visit goldenotter.us. That's golden like the precious metal and otter like the precious animal.us.
Join the New Earth on the Cornelia Stephanie Show. Tune in each month as Cornelia takes listeners on an odyssey of higher consciousness to inspire, educate, and empower. Cornelia Stephanie is a spiritual teacher, passionate speaker, published author, and founder of the Empower Network. Cornelia guides people on the path of self-healing, peace, and liberation. For more information, go to corneliastephanie.com.
Have you lost a loved one and would desperately love a sign to prove that they are okay? Here's a tip for you. Be curious. Keep an open mind about everything. The proof will come from the most unlikely places. The messages promise to challenge your current beliefs and what you've been taught. Accept and appreciate all, no matter where they come from. I'm Angie Corbett-Kuiper. I would love for you to share your signs from beyond on my closed Facebook page, Beyond Grief.
People often ask, what does it mean to thrive? On Thrive by Jen Radio, it means body confidence, mind fulfillment, and soul synchronicity. Create synchronicity with God and learn as Jen shares action steps and real stories that will inspire you to be unstoppable in fulfilling your purpose. Tune in live each Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on transformationtalkradio.com and visit jenniferzellup.com to thrive with Jen.
This is Debbie Pokornik with a break-free parenting tip. If you haven't been practicing active listening or are getting into some bad habits, it's a good idea to go back to the basics and remind yourself how to be a good listener. Here's an idea that might help. When your child comes to you with a story about her day, set aside whatever you're doing and give her your full attention. If you're in the middle of something that can't be put aside, tell her that you really want to be able to give her story your full attention and ask if you could continue the conversation at a specific time. So, for example, this sounds like an important story and I'd really like to give it my full attention. Can we talk about it in 10 minutes when supper's in the oven? Active listening might sound like common sense, but often it's these simple skills that get buried in our parenting pack and easily forgotten or overlooked. Challenge yourself to practice this skill for a full week and see if you notice a difference in how much your child is sharing.
For information and to work with Debbie, visit empoweringnrg.com.
Oh, I love it. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat, and I'm here with my friend and colleague, Lou Paradise. And, you know, the reason I can call him my friend and colleague is because when I was at my worst in 2005, and then the several years thereafter, Lou was so generous with providing me with pain management through Topperson and the whole Topperson family. I was so grateful, forever grateful. And if you ever want to hear my story about what I would do every night, I'll make sure that those shows are available to you. Today, Lou and I are again excited about a holistic approach, a homeopathy approach to human growth hormone. And it doesn't even sound normal to say that right now because you're probably saying, what? Lou, again, before we talk about what it is that you and I are responsible for, if from a humane aspect of sharing this information, people that suffer. And again, we're sharing a lot of anecdotal information, although I will give you information from a very recent 2018 science study. Lou, how can people find out more about you?
Again, I think the best way is go to my sites. I have two of them. Lou Paradise, LouParadise, LouParadise.com, or go to Lou, NEWYOU, Lou.com, and you'll get to the information you need. Other stuff that we have on the site that is incredibly beneficial, and this way you're really tied into actual information and the people that can help you the most.
Yeah. You know, let's start out with the event that you and I were at where you spoke, and we have video that we're editing now to put that up. But you also got to talk to countless people that came through the event. And you talked with people. Some people were coming up to the booth with canes. Other people talked about the story and the struggles in their lives and didn't know that there was something that would be a benefit for them. So I want to ask you, could you recap the human side of this from what you face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball with people that are talking with you about this particular homeopathic topical human growth hormone? And also, what did you hear from the people that have already started to use it?
Yeah, there are two things. A number of people knew what human growth hormone was. Mm-hmm. Some of them thought they heard it, and we kind of gave them a refresh. Most of them said, I would love to figure out how to get the right therapy, but it's so expensive, I can't afford it, and I'm just going to have to live with my ailments. We talked to people who are suffering from inflammatory problems, joint-related, nerve-related. We talked to folks who had some degree of disability. We had folks who are feeling like my cognitive thing is just, I'm noticing my memory is like not there as much as it was before. We had people who were looking there and said, my God, I wish I could just get a better night's sleep. My energy levels are so low all the time. I'm a vibrant person. I don't know what's happening to me. It sounds like this can be a benefit to me. And my goodness gracious, it's something that I can afford to do. And by the way, when we talk about what we always like talking most about is if we could help people like we've been, and you and I have been doing this for a very long time, help people back through the journey of healing and getting better and feeling good and getting vibrant, getting their vibrant life back, their health back, their health package back, and then being able to help them to financially help them to get their life back. Because so many people are going through these changes. So people that have, look at all these folks that have come up to us who have fibromyalgia as a situation. How many people don't know that a lot of these autoimmune issues, in fact, most autoimmune issues are hormone related. That we're not treating the hormones and getting them into balance. This is the kind of thing that's beautiful about this. What we're talking about is helping the body. The body's the miracle here. Helping the body get back to the miracle it needs, it wants to be, and can indeed be, by the right holistic approach, homeopathic topicals. This is something that is in my wheelhouse for over 40 years with Topricin. Here we have this other product that's a gel that's got these phenomenal medicines in them, 3 specific homeopathic medicines. And what we see with people is they so delighted to hear it's something safe. It's something natural. Homeopathic, oh my God, I've heard about homeopathy, or I use it all my life. My father told me to never use this, that, and the other thing, and I've been using homeopathy and herbs forever. We don't ever use pharmaceuticals kind of thing. And like we've always said before, we always want people to know, if you're under doctor's care, you're taking medicines for whatever it may be, before you go out and do anything, go to your health provider, get a health provider on your side. If your health provider is your chiropractor or an acupuncturist, so be it, because that's your choice. But always make sure you're doing something with somebody that's certified health provider to help you. Though we had an array of people who were using something to help them. They were taking ingestibles. They said they weren't sure if it really worked. Ingestibles don't work really well because they're 90% nullified in the gut, so you only get 10% viability and or bioavailability. Sprays don't work for the same reason. You atomize it, and they don't get into the skin deep enough. They don't get to the microcirculation. Homeopathic gel. And here's the thing to me that was most important. Out of all the studies that have been directed for the last 50 or 60 years, they found out the small microdose of HGH to stimulate your own natural responses of getting your own HGH to work better, to come back to life, was the best approach, the safest, most assured approach, because your body is naturally wanting to do this anyway. Having people come back to us, people that have used, and this was the cool part, oh my God, I've been using the gel for the last 3 months. I had this terrible backache. No matter what I did, it wouldn't go away. I got this inflammation in my joints. And then within a week or two, I started to feel the difference. If anybody wants to have anybody, if you have anybody coming to your booth and they want to talk to somebody who's used the gel beside you guys, send them over to my booth and I'll tell them how vibrant my life is now. I cannot believe that something natural, that something easy to use twice a day can work. So we had an array of people that want to get better, want to feel better. Oh my God, my energy and being able to sleep and get to work is dependent on my job. I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my job and lose everything around me because I can't think straight, all of those things. And how delighted we are to know we can help every single one of those folks. And why? Their body's a miracle. The body wants to do these things. We stimulate it to naturally come back to normal balances. Voila. The information is not about buying something and selling something, having to chase people down. This is about a new way of looking at a holistic approach to humanity to solve problems that we all have and everybody we know has because hormonal imbalance exists everywhere. And to bring those kinds of microcosm of people, were exactly the people around the whole planet that need exactly what we're talking about here. They need something safe and effective that's affordable, that can bring their life and their life processes back. Because what? We know people deserve to live a vibrant, healthy, amazing life. Should not be bogged down by not knowing how to get back to normal, how to reset your body's mechanisms for metabolic function. And when we do that, oh my goodness gracious, the most incredible stories come out of it. And we're just so thrilled that we have the information and we have a product that can actually deliver these kinds of benefits.
And I think part of this too is really to take a look at what some of the benefits are. And I certainly will give people the perspective from this particular study, but there's also information, Lou, that you can talk about in the term of, what does it do? Well, look, if you're having trouble concentrating, right, you can get positive mental support. If you've got pain and you're in discomfort, right, you can get support. Right. Maybe something like having difficulty sleeping, right? Maybe just something like, well, this idea of other hormone imbalances. And by the way, just so you know, the idea of applying topically to the skin, that issue was addressed decades ago for women going through menopause. And so back then, what was used was what we now call, thank you, Suzanne Summers, bioidentical hormones. So we already put that story to bed. Right. But we have other things, right? We have things like moods. We have things like immune system. And, many of the things we're talking about now have to do with all of the studies that have been done in the past, the science on it. And I'm going to post the article that I had. But from a science point of view, Lou, just to take a scientific study, and as I said before, this is a study that did a meta-analysis across decades and came up and said, here's what it says. This is from the study. I'm going to read it exactly. Reduction in fat mass, right? Increase in lean mass. Lou and I are not making claims. I'm reading this from Table 1 in the study. Increase in muscle strength, bone mineral density, improvement in quality of life. And that came from questionnaire. So they did another study on that, which is incredible. Then we have increase in HDL cholesterol, reduction of total LDL cholesterol. And I could go on but the one that got my attention here is the one we do not talk about. And that is the reduction of CRP. And as you look at the rest of the study, right, and you get down to neoplasms, another fancy word, we're really looking at an improved hypothalamic pituitary function.
Yes. And if you excuse me just 1 second, for some reason, could you plug me back in quick. I have an electrical issue here. Oh my gosh.
I know, we got all fired up on here. What'd you do, blow out the grid?
Man, I'm telling you, it's like we have...
it's snowing here.
Yeah, it's going to be snowing up here as well. Somebody wanted to say hello.
Hi, good morning. Hey, have you posted your picture yet on the internet?
Have you posted the picture on the internet?
Aurora, because I'm going around sending everybody your picture.
Tell her you can post it on your internet.
Yeah.
Thank you. I needed permission. You all heard it here first. You all heard it here first. I mean, this is like the world we live in. I forgot to actually give it to Carter, and I'm going to have to bring it up on my phone. But this is really now you and I looking out to say to people, look, do your research. Lou and I are skeptics from way back. We really are. I mean, I can count on like one hand when I have said, I'm going to be involved in something like this. There's not many. I think the last thing that I got involved with like this was the healthy coffee. But this is so important if it's going to give people another way out of their suffering. And again, what you and I are saying is make sure you start out on the right foot. Get the preliminary test, monitor what's going on with you, read up on the literature, understand how it works. And this idea of the body balancing itself, Lou, that's the key to this. That's the key to this. Did I lose you, Lou? Where'd Lou go? Look, Lou's talking and we can't hear a word he's saying.
I know. I think we did. Sorry,
Pat.
Pat.
Back. There we go.
Dream on, fly high, and live adventurously on The Laura Meeks Show. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as host Laura Meeks guides you in finding your unique gifts and bringing them to life. As a certified life coach, speaker, and veteran bomber pilot for the U.S. Air Force, Laura knows how to follow a dream. She is ready to support you so you can dream on, fly high, and live adventurously. For more information on Laura and her work, visit flyhighliving.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans suffering from anxiety, you probably know how powerless and out of control this emotion can make you feel. This is why it is so important to remember that anxiety is created by your mind, which means that you can learn to use your mind to uncreate it. Hello, my name is Dr. Friedman Schaub. My award-winning book, The Fear and Anxiety Solution, provides you with a step-by-step breakthrough process to understand and resolve the root causes of your anxiety and build a solid foundation of confidence and inner peace. If you're ready to take your power back, visit thefearandanxietysolution.com. That's thefearandanxietysolution.com or call 866-903-6463. That's 866-903-MIND.
Living Lighter Radio with Jason and Patricia. We have an ecosystem approach to your life. Tune in weekly every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio as we, Jason and Patricia, discuss what's truly holding you back. We offer you the tools you need to reach your goals and at the same time be living lighter. For more information about Living Lighter, visit www.livinglighter.org.
Interested in deepening your spiritual practice? The School for Esoteric Studies offers online training to spiritual seekers from all paths of life and individual coaching. Our courses synthesize Eastern and Western spiritual traditions based on meditation, study, and service applied to everyday life. To learn more about our courses and services, please visit www.esotericstudies.net.
Join Jennifer Noel Taylor on the hit show Quantum Touch Radio, supercharging your life on TransformationTalkRadio.com. You'll take a quantum journey as we reveal powerful yet simple steps to create more abundance, better health, emotional and mental vibrancy, and happier relationships using universal quantum touch principles. For more information, visit JenniferNoelTaylor.com.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And I cannot believe I'm sitting here looking out a window and like the whole ground's covered. The technology is like all hooked up in this wet snow here in Jersey, but I'll be back home on Sunday. Lou, listen, bring us home on this. Bring us home on this.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Carter and to Benny because those, man, oh man, you guys are just magic, my brothers. Most essential thing that is important. We have the safest, most important product to help to your body to naturally release the HGH it needs in order to stay youthful and stay fit, have the energy levels you're looking for, not some magic out of a bottle, not some mystery thing or whatever the heck, but the most safe approach, scientifically well-balanced approach to be able to bring your body back into balance hormonally to be the functional miracle that your body was intended to be. you're losing energy, you're not getting good night's sleep, you're having all kinds of different little tiny memory things, or you're saying, oh my God, what's happening to me? I don't feel well. I have inflammation and I don't understand it. All of that kind of stuff. You will be able to find that this natural way, this product, by the way, was tested and in the marketplace for 14 years before it became available for people like Dr. Pat and myself. We tested it ourselves. We got results. My vision, believe it or not, my vision started to improve, which I was very, very happy with. My vision is like 20/30 or something. I think the next approach I go to my doctor, because I've been on it for 3 months, is going to be 20/20, I hope. My fat burning machine is returned. I'm very happy about that. I'm getting incredible amounts of sleep now. I'm getting vivid dreams. I can't remember the time I had vivid dreams. My energy levels, my mental acuity is like on the top of the rock. It's just like so amazing. And people are saying like, what are you doing, man? It's like, what did you, you're a pretty useful guy to begin with, but how's your skin looking so young lately? I'm saying, whoa.
I saw you at the booth, and I'm fumbling for my glasses, right? And you're like, no, just give me that. I can read it. And I'm like, okay, what did you get, like contacts? And you're like, no, I don't need my glasses. And I'm like, how don't you need your glasses? But, this is really where you and I have an obligation to provide the science on this. And that's really important. Right. But the other thing I want to say is that this is also an opportunity for people that want to be independent to earn some money. And we're going to do a whole nother show on that. And, for me, I am the skeptic when it comes to this. You cannot talk to people about things that, at least from your own experience, are not working. And we're gonna post Aurora's picture up there because Linda and I didn't even recognize her at the booth. We walked right by her. Linda says, "Who's that in the booth?" I said, "I think that's Aurora." So we're going to do a lot more shows. In the future shows we do, Lou, one of the things we're going to do is bring on people. And we're going to hear from them and their stories. But today, absolutely, what's your personal message? What do you want to leave us with today?
You don't have to, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you do not have to continue that way. If you don't think you're getting the right opportunity to help your body to get back in a position, you want to enjoy the kind of energy you used to have before, the kind of mental acuity, the physical being able to get around. And do just cool stuff, just the kind of things we like to do to be mobile and functional and make sure our function and mobility and range of motion is all back to kind of as normal as it can possibly be. You've got to get on the gel, which I think is the whole important thing. Get on this product, try it. You're going to find yourself being so absolutely amazed by the results you get because it is something that your body naturally does. This is the cool part. We do not want to put stuff in our body that is weird and wacky. We want to do things that naturally our body wants to do and help it to get there. You deserve a life that's vibrant, to kick up your heels, to celebrate things with doing the physical, incredible things you do with the people you love, doing those things with, and we can help you support getting to that life process. And we can tell you a little bit about, hey, look, you just mentioned this and you share this with other people and you can actually make some pretty significant amount of income, which is something that we don't normally talk about, and I'm always kind of skeptical about, but I've seen it for myself, and all I can say is if you really want to change the complexion of what's happening for your life, we can help. We want to help. We know you're hurt in a lot of ways. We want to help, and we're delighted and honored to be able to do that.
Yeah. And by the way, for those of you out there, one of the things that I think is so important is the fact that we care about all of our listeners and care about all of you. And we just want you to know that for us, we're going to bring you the best information that we can let our hands on and let you make decisions for yourself. It is a personal journey. Thank you, Lou. Thank you so much for today.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, my dear. And for Benny and Carter and all the folks behind the scenes, I can't tell you thank you folks enough. And also all those folks out there, as you well know, if we don't help each other, if we're not here for each other, we don't take care of each other, the relationships we have and the benefit we could be to each other, then what in the world are we doing here? So thank you. Thanks so much again. Such an honor to be spending this time with you, my dear.
You betcha. And thanks to Linda for bringing me that green tea right there, because it's freezing in here.
Thank you for listening to Vibrant Purposeful Living Radio with Lou Paradise. Tune in monthly with Lou and Dr. Pat on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Living a vibrant and purposeful life is more than a catchy slogan or soundbite. It's a way of being, your new life experience. Lou is your expert for awakening the vibrant life within you. For more information or to listen to this show, visit louparadise.com.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.